Here's a game. It was actually submitted by one of the viewers. Um, haven't done anything lately. We'll just ease in with this. This one, he says he's an 18Q and white is a 25Q. So let's see what happens. So far, so good. So far, honestly, I don't know what's going on. Whatever. It's fine. Pincer. Okay, something's wrong with these ranks because these are not the moves of a 25Q and an 18Q. But let's see what they do. Also, something about this doesn't seem right because there's a cutting point here. I almost feel like you should do this. I don't know this Joseki, but something about this doesn't feel right to me. Maybe this move? This move feels a little bit better because it does that and you can still have this connect, or you can just take it. But see what they did. Counter pincer. That's fine. I'd be worried about him getting out here. I might do something simpler, like really kill this. But let's see. I'm guessing that he's gonna jump with her. Yep. And this makes, I'm okay with this. You're gonna counterattack. Another idea is to make him just live small and then just take your gains over here. The counterattack is a little bit too strong, just because I don't know what you're trying to use this for. This is a little bit too far away. Let's say, okay, so he does this. Let's say this just gets strong. I'm just going to play something really simple here. Just, you still need another move here to make this useful. So, I don't know. I wouldn't rush into something that, this is fine, but yeah, okay. The problem is that this move right here is damaged. Because it's like you either have to play another move to make this fine and it's too close, or you just have to write it off. So how do I undo this? Whatever. Maybe I click. There we go. So yeah, you're gonna be chasing it, but I feel like once this happens, white will just play underneath, and it'll have at least one eye. But it's a good effort. So yeah, you cover on top, and you ignore, which I don't think is good, because this is still not alive, and you started by making this not alive with this move, so you need to follow through with what you're trying to do. Honestly, I just probably descend, and then it'll be weak for a long time. Um, let's also talk about the move right here. The move right here is less about this group and more about here, I think. Um, why is that? Because, first of all, you have not reduced this territory at all. You're not. It still needs two or more moves to reduce it, right? Let's say if you had two moves instantly to reduce this, you do this and this, right? If you use this and this, oh, sorry, and this, that doesn't really work because you can still cut it off. And this don't reduce it at all. So then this move is aiming at this area, but there's nothing here for you to build off of. Also, the thing I've already said is that this group on the upper left corner here is alive. So this doesn't help this by much. I wouldn't really rush to do this move as a result. Yep, push through. Okay. Did you read this? If you do this, you have a base. This doesn't keep track of how long you spent thinking about these moves, but this should be obvious. What? Okay. So the problem with this is that you spent one, two, three moves to do something you could have just done in one move. Right here. It would have been Gote. Actually, yeah, it would have been still Gote here. But you would have lived much more securely. You spent a lot of moves to accomplish something with a less than optimal result. White has the right idea. They're alive. You play a big move. In this day and age, you gotta surround corners, but whatever. The other big thing I don't like about this is one of those can't I can't think of a good move, but you play a big one anyways. Let's really quickly look at what you've done. Um, I don't think I'll be calling this the meaning of moves. So let's look at what Black has tried to achieve so far in this game. So he played these two moves, wanting something around here. There's nothing here yet to support it, so this needs another move. He played these two moves. Let's use a triangle for this. Let's use the triangle. He played these dude moves trying to attack this, but also to try and ground here. Problem is, this triangle move is still weak, so this needs another move. So he lands with move A here. That is the mistake. The mistake is that you aren't doing anything that's consistent with what you were trying to do previously with your moves. Hopefully that makes sense to some people who are listening. So what would be the choices? Well, so this is looking down here and there's no support. So I'd say a move here would probably help. It gets this corner and then it supports something over here. This move's weak. This still needs another move to get safe. So maybe this, or maybe even just, blindly grab the corner. That would be fine. But A doesn't accomplish either of these, leaves both of these still weak, and doesn't surround you territory. That's why A is a bad move. Alright, let's keep going. So yeah, you can see I don't even have to look at the rest of this. I can just predict. Black's going to do something here, White's going to extend here, and then this move's going to be made useless. Okay, well there's that. So the pincer, you're going to get in here. White should probably actually flip, because White flips here, it affects all of this. But this doesn't necessarily mean... Okay, well White chooses this, meaning White doesn't understand this Joseki. White should probably go for the 3-3 now. Yeah, this is optimistic, but fine. Yeah, Black has the right idea here. But Black isn't punishing White enough. So yeah, at the end of this, Black gets this territory and this is still open. Let's think about this real quick. Did Black come out ahead? My answer, the quick answer is not really. So this stuff, so let's break this down. This territory isn't really Black's yet because there's this move. So this still needs another move. If White plays this, and let's just say this, you can see this is about 8 points. So it's not as big as you think. Let's also take in the fact that this is about 10 points, and there's about 10 points here, right? This group's about 10 points-ish, but not really, and this is about 10 points. So all of this area that Black was supposed to make territory of what's actually Black's, very little of it is actually Black's after this. And it's Gote. So White can actually reduce instantly out here. There's also the Sente moves here, and, this move here. So I'm not going to say that Black messed up. It looks like Black's fine, but Black really didn't take advantage of um, this spot right here, especially after this. Honestly, at this point, pincer's okay. Um, what I would think you might want to try and do is maybe just give him this. Why is that? Well, this is a Sente move, right? This is a Sente move. And then you can see, even you can just push down here. Or this is a Sente move. This goes along with what you've been trying to do all this time. In fact, he still probably has to spend another move here as white. Otherwise, you can just completely cover him and start making territory here. That goes along with the plan. The pincer, um, what don't I like about the pincer? Or actually, I'm okay with the pincer. Why don't I like this? This is a very loosey-goosey thing to me. It's fine, but it's you've given up this side for the reasons I said above. And then when black comes here, you're not really doing that much. What you should actually do is this move. Hopefully this makes sense. Because once this runs, you're building off of what you've already done here. So yeah, there's probably more, but in general, black is not understanding the meaning of their moves. So that's the problem with this game. Oh wait, that's not the game. This is the game. Yep. And then this corner's removed. And then this stone, which I talked about that was weak, is now getting naturally cut off. I expect eventually white's going to just do a simple reducing move here. Yeah, I mean, this Sente still exists. This is too fancy. Whatever. What's going on here? White got too fancy for their own good. Alright. That's not the big move. Honestly, at this point, black can just ignore and just make territory here. Black made a mistake here. And did white do? Let's see if white does a reducing move. What is this? Are you trying to kill black? This has no bite to it. You need to have bite. Oh, come on, white. You can do a double Hane one of these days. White's not strong enough to do this. Wow, okay, so you just yeah, black has power but isn't willing to capitalize on it. And then white has the opportunity but isn't willing to capitalize on it either. Okay, that's enough. Let's review what has happened in this game. This is, I think the biggest thing that we can take from this game, because some of these are little ones, this is the most important thing we can learn from. What is it that you tried to do with these moves, the squares and triangle moves, and how you should play on it, based on what you're trying to achieve with your moves. If you can't understand that, the opening is sort of going to be confusing to you. But honestly, these are all slightly smaller mistakes for, let's say, let's say 7Q to 15Q. These are not big deal problems. These are useful for most people to look at, but not important. Why is that? Because something like this corner problem is a huge mistake. That's life and death, middle game type stuff. That's a good 10, 20 points. a 20-point swing. Not responding here and understanding that you can play elsewhere is a big deal. Seeing this move here is a big deal. These all make up for all the mistakes that Black made in the opening. And that's the bigger point. That's the bigger idea. Um, that's why middle game is so much more important. So if you look at this and you were Black, you should probably see that this is a move. And you should probably see that this isn't big enough. And some even turning here makes a lot of the center yours. In fact, you could probably think about doing this, and even if he tries to jump out, you either Hane here or you push through. Let me give an example. So if you said something like, so he's got to, so let's do this obvious one. He's got to respond to here, right? We'll say even this. So if Black does this, even if White jumps, you can push through. But if White pushes through like this, you just Hane. And honestly, even if this happens and White's trying to do something devastating, it's in your side. All of this is much bigger than this move. So, anyways, yeah, I'd say the most important thing for everybody to look at maybe is this point here. But even then, gotta have the skills and the power to back it up, which is why the stuff that happens here is a little bit more important. Um, so yeah, those are your two lessons. Hopefully that's useful. Um, I'll probably try and do another episode soon. I don't know. Motivation is low. All right, until next episode, take care.